There's a silent, invisible prison many startup founders walk into without even realizing it. The prison of fearing growth, of holding back when everything inside screams to explode forward. Imagine building something with your heart and soul, and then, just as it's ready to break free, you clutch it tight, afraid, telling yourself it's safer to stay small. But why? Why would anyone, especially those burning with ambition and vision, ever avoid growth on purpose? Because growth is scary. It's raw and wild and unpredictable. Growth means losing control. Growth means stepping into the unknown, where your every decision can shatter what you've already built. It means exposing yourself to the world's harshest judges, risking failure, risking being misunderstood. Growth tears down the comfortable illusions and forces a founder to confront their deepest fears: fear of failure, fear of success, fear of losing who they are. The truth that no one wants to say out loud is that some founders do avoid growth because it's easier to protect their fragile dreams than to risk breaking them. It's easier to stay small and safe than to stretch into something big and unknown. But this safety? It's a lie dressed as security. It's suffocating. It's a slow death of what could be. When a founder dodges growth, they're not just avoiding business expansion, they're avoiding becoming who they're meant to be. Growth is the forge that tempers the spirit, the relentless challenge that separates the dreamers from the makers. Growth demands transformation, and transformation hurts. It exposes cracks in character, reveals weaknesses in leadership, and strips away comfort like a relentless wind that will not stop. But here's the harsh truth. If there's no growth, there's no impact. No ripple in the pond, only ripples of regret and what if. Every startup that deliberately avoids growth is a lighthouse extinguished before its beacon could shine. The world desperately needs founders who dare to burn with an unquenchable fire, who don't just build companies but create movements. Those who shrink away don't just deny growth, they deny the future itself. Still, growth can't be reckless. The founders that thrive aren't those blindly chasing scale for scale's sake. They're smarter, more ruthless. They know growth is a beast to be tamed, not a prize to be hunted. The problem is many founders approach growth like it's a simple math problem. More users, more revenue, more cash. But growth is visceral. It's emotional, psychological, spiritual. It's about expanding your mind, your team, your impact, without losing your soul. Here's where the pain really digs in. Founders aren't just wrestling with markets. They're battling themselves. Growth demands they shed old identities, beliefs, safety nets. It forces them to question everything they thought they knew about themselves, their work, what matters. This tension can paralyze or propel. That's why some shrink into comfort or freeze in indecision, holding growth at arm's length like a monster they fear to face. The rare founders who do embrace growth intentionally break all the rules. They reject the system that tells them to play small, to toe the line, to settle. They are not waiting for permission or perfect timing. They leap, even when the ground looks shaky. They know that growth is painful and messy, but also the only path to freedom. They are willing to endure discomfort because they understand the stakes. The world needs what only they can create. And this is where the game changes. Most startups fight for market share. These founders fight for transformation of themselves, of their teams, of the entire ecosystem they touch. They don't build companies with walls but bridges. They don't settle for applause but demand alignment. They don't seek followers but forge powerful coalitions that amplify each spark of genius into a wildfire. To those still lurking in the shadows, afraid of growth, the message is simple but brutal. Your fear is your chain. Growth is not your enemy. It's your liberation. It will force you to unlearn the comfortable lies whispered by the system. It will peel away your illusions until only your raw purpose remains. And from that rawness, something extraordinary is born. But this isn't about rushing headlong into chaos. It's about sharpening your will so fiercely that no obstacle can stand. It's about building a mindset of radical skepticism. Question everything, including your own limitations. The founders who grow with power don't just accept the world as it is. They challenge it, redefine it, remake it. Growth is their tool, but transformation is their true prize. One of the deepest secrets lies here. Growth does not happen alone. It's a networked force, a collective movement of many aligned wills converging like lightning strikes. Founders who isolate themselves, guarding their ideas like treasures, stall. Those who open to the right connections, tribal coalitions of fierce equals burning with the same fire, explode forward. Growth fueled by synergy is unstoppable. Growth fueled by fear is a flickering candle waiting to blow out. What differentiates the founders who run toward growth from those who hide? It's fierce patience mixed with relentless drive. They know growth is a journey, not a sprint. They play the long game, staying true to their code without compromise. They are sovereign, master of their will. They align selectively, choosing partners who elevate, not dilute. They evolve constantly, embracing dissonance as a tool, not a threat. Fear of growth is natural, but it must be met with an equal, unbearable hunger to become. This hunger is the spark that refuses to be dimmed. It is the pulse of the rare, the misunderstood, the luminaries who will not settle for a borrowed life or a small dream. It is the reason why, despite despair, despite exhaustion, they rise again. Because they see clearly what others will not. Their growth is not just business. It's a revolution of self, a liberation of potential, a reshaping of the future. For those founders feeling stuck, frozen between desire and doubt, this is the call. Stop avoiding your own power. Retreating from growth is turning your back on destiny. The system didn't prepare you for this. The world didn't make space for the exceptional. So you must build that space yourself, through courage, through connection, through relentless transformation. Growth is not a monster to fear, but a fire to wield. Burn with it. Let it consume what no longer serves you. Break the chains of comfort that silence your brilliance. Align with those few who share your flame, your refusal to bend, your hunger to become more. Together, forge a new reality where growth is not just expansion, but evolution, personal, professional, cosmic. The founders who win aren't the ones clinging to safety. They are the ones who run headfirst into the storm, eyes wide open, fire in their chest, and a relentless will that no obstacle can smother. They don't settle for the world the system handed them. They build the world that's waiting just beyond the horizon for those brave enough to chase it. So ask yourself, not what you fear growth will take, but what growth will give you that hiding ever could. Because the truth is simple and brutal. Growth is freedom. Growth is power. Growth is the only way out of the quiet, the darkness, the slow death of what might have been. And the world is waiting for you to decide you will not avoid it, that you will own it, that you will become more than anyone ever imagined possible.